aṉburu Arunachala vaழம்பெல்லான் yahattuṇai niṇaittu niṇduruhum aṉbili yeṉakkuṉ maṉbili yaruளாத ஆண்டனை அழித்திடல் laṛahō aṉbiனில் விளையும் miṉbamē aṉbர் rahattiணil lūṟumā ramudē yeṉpuha liḍaniṉ ниṭṭameண் ணிṭṭம் miṉbadeṟ keṉṉuyi viļaiyu.
Last time we spoke about the first verse of Śrī Aruṇācala Padigam. This time I'm going to talk about the second verse. There is a continuity between one verse and the other. Poetically, the continuity is provided by the fact that the last word of the first verse was aṉbei, which means "oh love," and the first word of this verse is aṉburu, which means love. In both cases, Bhagavan is referring to Arunachala as love. That's one poetic link between these two verses. The other link is in verse 1, what he was principally praying for was uṇkakshi. Uṇkakshi means your vision, your sight, your that is sight of you, seeing you. He's praying for the real seeing Arunachala as it is. In other words, uṇkakshi means swarupa darshana, the knowledge or that is the seeing or the awareness of our real nature, swarupa, which is Arunachala. So there he prayed for seeing Arunachala as he actually is, seeing our real nature, that is. In this case, what he prays for is love. The connection between these two is when Arunachala is our own swarupa, our own real nature, why do we not see ourselves as such? Because of our lack of love. Why do we lack love? Because of our wrong discrimination. We believe, having risen as ego, we are dissatisfied because we are separated from the infinite happiness that we actually are. So we are seeking happiness. And all our actions by body, speech and mind are all driven by our desire for happiness. And but we are seeking happiness outside ourselves because of our wrong discrimination. And because of our wrong belief that happiness is to be attained outside, we have so much desire, so much there's so much impetus of will to go outwards. Because of our eagerness to go outwards, we are not turning back within and seeing ourselves as we actually are. So it is our love for the things of the world and consequent lack of love to know ourselves as we actually are, but is the reason why we don't have that swarupa darshana that Bhagavan referred to in the first verse. He didn't actually say swarupa darshana. The word he used in Tamil was uṇkakshi, which means your sight, your view, your vision. In other words, seeing you as you actually are. Seeing Arunachala as it actually is the same as seeing ourselves as we actually are, because Arunachala is nothing but our own real nature. So in effect what Bhagavan was praying for in the first verse was swarupa darshana. In this verse he's praying for the love that is required to have that swarupa darshana. And in order to have that love, we need to surrender our will to him. That is, we need to give up all our outgoing desires. That is what Bhagavan is praying for in this second verse. this verse consists of 3 sentences. Well, you can say 4 sentences. Yeah, 4 sentences. 2 longish sentences and 2 short sentences which conclude the verse. In the first verse, he begins by addressing Arunachala as aṉburu varuṇāchala. Aṉbu means love, uru means form, and Arunachala. So he's describing Arunachala as the form of love. And Arunachala, in other words, Arunachala is the very swarupa, the very nature of Arunachala is love. Because love is our real nature. Love is always for happiness, because our own nature is Satchidananda, infinite being, awareness and happiness. We have infinite love for ourselves. That love is what is Arunachala. That pure love for infinite happiness, infinite love for infinite happiness, that is Arunachala. So he addresses Arunachala, aṉburu varuṇācala, Arunachala, the form of love. Then he, as I mentioned last time, with Tamil sentences are constructed very differently to English sentences. So often we have to explain the meaning in English, we have to begin from the end of the Tamil sentence. So the main clause in this sentence is the final clause, which is ṉaṉbiṇai aruḷādu aṇdu eṇu eṇai yaṛittiḍa rahattiṉi. Rahattiṉi is a question. Rahattiṉi means beauty. Rahattiṉi means, is it beauty? Is it beautiful? In this context it means, is it befitting? Does it befit you? Does what befit? ṉaṉbiṇai aruḷādu aṇdu eṇai yaṛittiḍa. We can begin with the word aṇdu. Aṇdu is the same word that he used in the at the beginning of the previous verse. He began the previous verse by saying karuṇaya leṇai āṇdani yeṇakkuṉ. Yeah, I'm sorry, actually the first word that came to Bhagavan when he began this verse was karuṇaya leṇai āṇdani. Ni means you, aṇda means who took possession of me. You who took possession of me. If you who took possession of me by your grace, was how he began that verse. Or not even if comes a bit later. Actually in Tamil it means you who took possession of me by your grace. Or by grace, he doesn't even say your grace. Your grace is obviously implied. But there, aṇda is a relative participle. Here, aṇdu is an adverbial participle of the same verb. The verb of which these are participles is the verb al, which means to receive or accept as a protege, or to take possession of, rule, reign over, govern, control, manage, maintain, or cherish. This is a word that's used a lot in Tamil devotional literature. Bhagavan has used it it's a word Bhagavan uses so often, particularly in Aksharamalai and here in Patigam and in other places. He's constantly praying to Arunachala to take possession of him. When we surrender ourselves to Arunachala, we become the possession of Arunachala. So to the extent to which we surrender, he takes possession of us, and to the extent that he takes possession of us, we are surrendering ourselves to him. So so long as we are unwilling to surrender ourselves, he has not taken possession of us, because he will never force himself upon us. the aim of the devotee is to become the possession of the Lord, to surrender himself completely, to merge back into the Lord. This is all metaphorical ways, but it's actually, he's talking, this is the same, what he's talking about. This isn't a separate part of a path of jnana, the path of self-investigation that he talked about. It's expressing the same thing in different ways, using poetic language, metaphorical language. So when we surrender ourselves, when the ego merges back into its source, we then become the possession of God. God being our own real nature, our own swarupa. So here he says aṉburu, which means taking possession. So the implication is, after taking possession of me, does it befit you to ruin me by not granting your love? ṉaṉbiṉai. Aṉbiṇai is an accusative case form of aṉburu, which means love. Means it means your. So it means your love. But Bhagavan often uses in poetry. Bhagavan often says things in a very compact manner. So when he talks about your love, he's not talking about Arunachal's love for us. What he means by your love is love for you. You haven't given me love for you. So ṉaṉbiṇai aruḻā. Arul is a word that is both a noun and a verb in Tamil. As a noun it means grace. As a verb it means be gracious. But it also means to give or to grant or bestow. So in this case, context, it's used in the sense of giving. So aruḻā means not giving. ṉaṉbiṇai, your love, by not giving your love. In other words, he says, yeṉakkuṉ means to me. yeṉakkuṉ ṉaṉbiṇai aruḻā. Not giving your love to me, or not giving me love for you, is what it implies. So by not giving me love for you, yaṛittiḍa. The verb yaṛittiḍa is a verbal noun from the verb ari, which means to destroy, ruin, or damage. The implication is you're ruining me if you don't give your love. If you don't give me love for you. This, as in Akṣaramulai, there's elements of bridal mysticism here. That is, he's alluding to if a man takes a woman and takes as his own but doesn't marry her, he's ruining her. She's no longer she's in traditional societies, the woman has been taken by a man and then is left by him without marriage. She's then ruined. So there's an allusion to that here. If you, after taking me as your own, if you do not give me that true love for you, you're ruining me, is the implication here. Is that befitting you? If you're a real gentleman, if you're really a man of honor, will you take me, this innocent girl, as your own, and then not give me the love for you but I require in order to surrender myself completely to you? So much, there's so much depth of meaning and so much allusion here. It's difficult to bring out fully the richness of the meaning of the allusions that are here. And all these allusions, what they are expressing is love. why so much devotional poetry is often written in the language of bridal mysticism, as Bhagavan wrote Aksharamlai, because in human terms, the greatest love we experience is the love between man and woman, or between two people when they want to unite and be one. So that is often used as a metaphor in devotional poetry. The devotee considers himself or herself to be a girl, because gender, it's beyond gender. Gender applies to a body, but this is beyond. This is heart speaking to heart. So as a devotee, we are the girl coming to the Lord, seeking marriage, like Bhagavan prayed for marriage with Arunachala. Marriage is a metaphor for that immutable union. Akshara mana. Akshara means imperishable, and mana means marriage. So one of the meanings of Akshara mana malai is the garland of immutable union, of immutable marriage. Akshara also means letter, so it's also because Bhagavan composed Aksharamlai in alphabetical order, but it was called the garland of letters, I mean letters of the alphabet, that is. So the same bhava, the same feeling is expressed here. So if after taking possession of me, if you do not give me love for you, will that befit you? And then before the word yeṉakkuṉ, which means to me, when he says not giving love to me, then he describes himself as aṉburu. Aṉburu means one who does not have love. And what type of love? He describes it as meṛuhā, yahattuṉai, niṇaittunain, duruhu. That means to me who do not have love, in which one melts, softening like wax in fire, thinking of you in the heart. If we truly love Arunachala, the mere thought of Arunachala will melt our heart, just like wax melts in fire. We will be melted, our whole being will be melted in him if we have such love. And when we're melted in him, what remains is him alone, because when ice melts in water, as he says in in verse 101 of Aksharamlai, when ice melts in water, what remains? Only water. So there Bhagavan prays to Arunachala, melt me as love in you, the form of love, as ice melts in water. Aṉburu vaṇbiļai, ṉaṉbai karaitaral Arunachala. Melt me as love in you, the form of love, like ice in water. So the same, it's a very similar prayer here. He's saying, if you do not give me such love for you, you'll be ruining me. Is it befitting you to ruin me without giving me such love? So the whole sentence is, aṉburu varuṇāchala, meṛuhā, yahattuṇai niṇaittunain, duruhu, aṉburu yeṉakkuṇ, ṉaṉbiṇai aruḷādu, dāṇḍeṉai yaṛittiḍa laṛahō. Arunachala, the form of love, after taking possession of me, does it befit you to ruin me by not granting your love, or love for you, to me, who do not have love, in which one melts, softening like wax in fire, thinking of you in one's heart? One or two other words here I haven't explained. aṉburu is love, we've explained that already. Aṛaṇ is a form of aṛo, which means fire. meṛuhā means wax. ṉaṇdu is an adverbial participle of a verb ṉai, which means to soften, like an overripe fruit softens. So ṉaṇdu, it's also having the illusion, if you don't give me love, I'll just become rotten like an overripe fruit. And in one of the verses of aṉburu, he says, "Naindari kaniyal, nalanile padatil, nadia kol nalam Arunachala." Arunachala, what's the use of a fruit when it's overripe? Come and take me while I'm ripe, is the implication there. That is, if a man takes a woman into his possession but doesn't marry her and lets her become old and she loses all her beauty, what is the use of her then? She's then an overripe fruit. So again, there's so many illusions here. So, but here he's using the word ṉaṇdu. Our love for Arunachala should be such that the mere thought of him makes us soften and melt and dissolve in him. But we lack such heart-melting love. It's because we lack such heart-melting love, but we are not able to see him as he actually is. And why do we not have that love? It is for Arunachala to give us that love. In one verse in that Ramudē, Bhagavan sings, "Nesamil yeṉakkuṉ āseye kātinai mosanchaya Arunachala." Oh Arunachala, Nesamil yeṉakkuṇ, me who had no love, āseye kātinai, you gave me your desire. That means desire for you. You showed me desire for you. You gave me a taste of desire for you. Mosanchaya, do not disappoint me. That is, we are just ordinary people roaming about in this world seeking worldly pleasures, but somehow Bhagavan has given us a little bit of taste of that love for him. We got a little bit of desire to merge in him. He who's given us that little bit of desire, he shouldn't now disappoint us. Surely he won't disappoint us. That we have to understand. He will give us that infinite love, but in order for us to have that infinite love that we are seeking, we need to surrender ourselves to him. That is the meaning of the rest of the verse. In the second sentence, he's just expressing his love for Arunachala. There are two vocative clauses and then a simple question. The first vocative clause is, these are so beautifully expressed, maṉbili viḷaiyu miṉbamē. Oh happiness, that is, viḷaiyu means that is produced by, that results from, and implies, it can also mean that is grown, that is cultivated by, or what is born in. So, oh happiness born in love, or happiness ripened in love, or happiness that is grown in love. So happiness is how happiness is produced by love. So the source of happiness is love. In fact, in the state of Advaita, love and happiness are one and the same. Because our real nature is happiness, we love ourselves. Oh, happiness born in love, happiness ripened in love, happiness grown in love. Bhagavan is always connecting happiness and love, because as he says in the very first sentence of ṇaṇya, in one of the clauses, where he's giving a reason why we should know our own real nature, he says, "Priyataku sukhame karanam ādlalam." And since happiness alone is the cause of love, so happiness is the cause of love, and love is the cause of happiness. Here he's saying, oh, happiness born in love. So it's only, we can be truly happy only when we have the love that Bhagavan is praying for here. What is the love he's praying for here? ṉaṉbiṇai. That means love, your love, or love for you. In other words, love for Arunachala, love for our real nature. So only when we love to know our real nature as it is, will we experience true and infinite happiness. So he addresses Arunachala, aṉbinil viļaiyu miṉbamē. Oh, happiness born in love. And then that's the first vocative clause. The second vocative clause is aṉba rahattiṉil ramudē. That means, oh, satiating or enduring ambrosia, which wells up in the hearts of devotees. Amudam is a Tamil form of the Sanskrit word amrita. Amritam has two meanings. It means, amrita means deathlessness, immortality, and it also means the, there was, in mythology, amrita is the substance which all living beings, particularly the gods and the demons, are seeking, because it is some mystical substance that will give them immortality. So it's exactly the same concept as the Greek the Greek term ambrosia, or whatever is the Greek term from which the English word ambrosia is derived. Like meṛuhā in Sanskrit means death. In fact, they're cognate words. They both come from the same original Proto-Indo-European source. Meṛuhā means death. Amrita means deathlessness in Sanskrit. Likewise in Greek, whatever is the word from which ambrosia is derived, means death. Ambrosia means deathlessness. So, and it's also in Greek mythology, it was ambrosia was the food of the gods. So they are immortal. Even the great gods are immortal only because of this mystical substance, ambrosia. So, but here Bhagavan is referring to Arunachala as the ambrosia, and he describes it amudē. Is a verb that means to become full, to pervade, to be satisfied, satiated, abide, endure. And though he's using here the root of the verb, he's using it as a relative participle or adjectival participle. So it stands as an adjective here. Amudē means, oh, satiating amrita, or oh, enduring amrita. It will last forever. We'll never be, we will be forever satisfied if we are able to experience that amrita. That amrita is who? That is Arunachala, our real nature. So he's addressing Arunachala as that amrita, and he describes it as aṉba rahattiṉil ūrum. That means which wells up in the heart of devotees. Ūrum is a relative participle of uru, which is a verb that means to spring, to flow, to well up, to soak, to accumulate, to spread, to increase. So where can we attain the nectar of immortality? It is only in our own heart, only by turning within. So the more we turn within, the more that nectar, that ever satisfying, that satiating ambrosia, nectar of immortality, will well up within, to the extent that we turn our attention inwards, is the implication here. So firstly he addresses as Arunachala as the happiness born in love, and secondly he addresses Arunachala as the satiating ambrosia which wells up in the heart of devotees. Devotees here means those who have loved. Aṉba means those who have love. have love for what? Love to turn within and know themselves as they really are. So long as we are turning outwards, that we will not experience that amrita which is ever welling up in our heart. So we must turn within to see it. And then finally he ends this sentence with a question. ṇiṇpuha. N means what? Puha is an interrogative form of puha, which means to say. What to say? So the first sentence he asked the question, does it befit you not to give me love, to ruin me without giving me love? What to say? If you are so ungracious to me, what to say? But in order for Arunachala to give us that love, we must do our part. He will give us everything if we do our little part. All we have to do is to surrender this little ego, surrender all our desires and everything that draws our mind outwards. We have to surrender to Him. Only when we surrender our will to Him, will He give us the love that we require to turn back within. In fact, these two are the will that we need to surrender to Him is all our desires to go outwards. To the extent that we we give up our desire to go outwards, He will give us the love to turn within. In fact, the two are inseparable. But to the extent that we have love to go outwards, we lack love to go within. To the extent that we give up the desire to go outwards, the love to go within will increase. So in the last two sentences, particularly in this third sentence, he is surrendering his will to Arunachala. He says, niṇaittunain anittum. Ittum in Tamil is a Tamil form of the Sanskrit word ishta. So the meaning is niṇaittunain anittum. Your wish, your will is my will. Your wish is my wish. Ishta is a Sanskrit word that means desire, wish, will. So niṇaittunain anittum. In other words, I have no will of my own. I want nothing other than what you want for me. That is the complete surrender. Thy will be done. So that surrender is a prerequisite. Until we are willing to surrender ourselves, he cannot give us that love for Him, because man cannot serve two masters. We cannot have love for the world and have full love to turn within. To the extent that our love for the world, our love for experiencing phenomena, our viḷaiyu vasanas, our liking for anything, to experience anything other than ourselves, to the extent that is given up, the love that is ever shining in our heart, the love for our own real nature, will well up from within. So, niṇaittunain anittum, your wish is my wish. And then in the next sentence he says, aṉburu adu ērku. Aṉburu means happiness, adu that, ērku to me, or for me. That is happiness for me, that is happiness to me. So I don't want anything other than your will. That your will is happiness to me. And then he ends again with another vocative clause, keṉṉuyi yeṛuļā. N means my, wir means soul or life, yeṛuļā means Lord, Lord of my life, Lord of my soul. So he's addressing Arunachala, your wish is my wish, that is happiness for me, Lord of my soul. So the whole verse is aṉburu varuṇāchala meṛuhā yahattuṇai duruhu maṉbili yeṉakkuṉ maṉbinai yaruḷā āṇdēṉai yaṛittiḍa laṛahō. That's the first sentence, is the first 2 lines of a verse. And then maṉbili viḷaiyu miṉbamē aṉba rahattiṉi ramudē. The third line is just 2 vocative clauses. yeṉpuha, what to say? yeṉpuha niṉ ниṭṭameṉ miṉbadeṟ keṉṉuyi. So what to say? Your wish is my wish. That itself is happiness for me, O Lord of my life. So the whole verse means, Arunachala, the form of love, after taking possession of me, does it befit you to ruin me by not granting your love, or love for you, to me, who do not have love in which one melts, softening like wax in fire, thinking of you in one's heart. O happiness born in love, O satiating ambrosia, which wells up in the heart of devotees. What to say? Your wish is my wish. That is happiness for me, Lord of my soul. This verse ends with the word viļaiyu. The next verse begins with the continuation of that. Viļaiyu ṉiṇaittunain. Viļaiyu means Lord, ūṇai is you, ṉiṇaittunain, thinking of you, the Lord. So, but that we'll talk about next time. So in the first verse, he prayed for to Arunachala to grant his kakshi, his true vision, that is true, that swarupa darshana, knowledge of his real nature, which is knowledge of our own real nature. And here he's praying for the love that is required in order for us to see his real nature.